Oh. Nice. Oh no. It's not the best. I literally blocked that. What? What? What the fuck? It's crazy. What? The fuck did you expect? What the fuck is that? You're kidding. That's fine.
Absolutely gorgeous girlfriend, Liv. Are you enjoying your time so far?
Loving it. Yeah, we just landed from the US about 48 hours ago, so it's nice to be home and soak up some of the sun, although there isn't a lot today. But we're excited to be home and spend the last remaining few weeks in Australia.
You're both from Perth and you studied at Whopper. I'm going to say I studied at Whopper, so we're basically classmates, let's be honest. But you graduated just in 2015. Would have you believed how much you've achieved in those 3 years if someone had told you at graduation what you would have done?
No, I mean, even if you told my 10-year-old self, that what is happening in my life is what is happening in my life right now, I wouldn't have believed you. But I do think that it's a testament to having a dream and working hard and pursuing your dream and having belief that you can make anything happen, as cliche as that might sound. So I feel lucky. I feel like I've got to keep my head down, and I feel like I've got to keep making smart decisions, and I feel thankful for the experiences and the opportunities that I've had up until now.
You're nominated for TV Personality this evening. Is there something about TV, particularly Stranger Things, that just seems to capture fans in a way that even more so than films? It's like you're in their homes.
I think the way that TV works is the narrative is so drawn out, that you get real time, whether it's 8 or 10 or 21 hours with these characters to watch them develop and watch them grow in a much more integrated format. So the audience gets a real chance to bond with those characters. I think that's special. So it's been nice to be a part of that.
You've got some films in the work at the moment with some Australian stars as well?
I may or may not. I have no comment on any future work, but I'm excited to see what the future holds.
I love that drum roll, just a bit of a hook. Now I know that at the moment that you're flying a lot and getting back to Perth in the next few days, it should be lovely, but I love that you're an architecture student and you love design. So you're basically a match made in heaven, right guys?
Interest, yeah, definitely.
Totally.
We like spending, when we got to Atlanta, we had our
Designed the
first
house.
house together.
Yeah.
And that was 3 months of our time non-stop, 24 hours a day.
Homeware stores.
Homeware stores, shopping, and we both kind of fell in love with doing that. Yeah, it was
Creating a
amazing.
space, I feel like, especially when you're away from home, building a world for yourself and building that comfortability, whether it's, you know, the bed sheets or the curtains or,
kinda
you know,
got
whatever
slightly
it is.
addicted.
So it's
But
been
it's amazing.
it's been great, but it's definitely nice to be home and to see family and friends and everything.
You've set all new relationship goals. Most people after a year are kind of sussing out whether or not they want to move in together. You guys have built a house. That's amazing.
Yeah, it's been
All
really
happened
good.
Very quickly.
Yeah,
It's been amazing.
but it's
yeah.
been a wild ride, and we've had amazing adventures and learned a lot about each other, and it's been really special.
Well, enjoy your night. You look absolutely gorgeous, Liv. Enjoy.
You are close to ranking in the top 1,000 in Oceania.
What the actual fuck is this?
Between their parents and them, just odd. And when you would become truant, now you lived there, but if you were late for class, isn't that, or you're flirting with a girl, they would take you to a place called, well, it was called Byberry at one time. Then
Oh,
it
yeah, I
changed
remember you
it.
saying that.
No, but it's called Park Lodge. And Park Lodge.
My god, man.
Lodge was a building where they would send lifers to. And a lifer is a person that never gets out.
It was
ever.
an insane asylum.
Yeah, pretty much. An insane asylum. It's an insane asylum. And I'm going, what am I doing in an insane asylum? All I was doing was talking to a couple kids. But they would
But you were
use it.
sent to the insane asylum? From
How old were
to
you
punish
here?
you?
Yeah,
Well, how old were you? here?
16.
So you were flirting with girls at this behavioral school, and to punish the students, they would like have them go as a retreat.
1
To
week,
the
2
side.
weeks, 3 weeks
No way.
into a
Whoa.
padded cell. Yeah.
That's so wrong.
Oh, it's so wrong. Until you've been there and you're with people that are in that situation for life. Again, girls, this is in the 60s, and the world is a different place. A whole
Right.
different place. Back then, corporal punishment was normal. There was guys would walk around there with all the fellas that were lifers, and a lot of them couldn't talk. If you ever saw the film Cuckoo's Nest,
Yeah,
that's a joke. Very nice movie,
right.
but it's almost a fun place. It's not fun. So the point being, I would go through that, and you come back into the normal school system, and supposedly you learn something, not really that much. Then I realized that people's human nature is pretty well set up at an early age, and as long as you're not innately cruel or doing things that are incredibly vindictive to individuals, I never saw myself as anything other than, misunderstood, used
Right.
like everyone else feels, and looking for my place in the world. So I was never what you call like an incorrigible, horrible human
No.
being that was looking to rob or steal or
Right.
hurt. I was looking at anything, just mischief.
Yeah, you were.
To get anything, to get out of schooling.
Right.
Right.
Even though,
And so,
yeah.
and that's what you did. And I want to touch on the fact that you said you just did what you could to survive, because I feel like that's been your entire life's journey
Completely,
so far.
yeah.
So you make it out of Devereaux.
Yeah.
You're now a young adult. And I would love to sort of get into your early career, because you have probably the most abnormal resume I have ever heard in my life. I mean, just to name a few, you were a lion cage cleaner,
Yeah, right.
a bouncer, you cut fish, you were an usher,
Good
a
fish
books.
cutter.
I want to get into that.
You were a
Good
volleyball
books,
coach?
book salesman.
When were you a volleyball coach?
In Switzerland.
Oh,
I have to say something. I was
Casual.
actually I was in New York last week,
Yeah.
and there was a man cutting fish, and I don't know. I stopped in the street and I said to myself, "My dad used to do that."
That's right.
But how were you a fish cutter?
I was such a good fish cutter.
I
and I
don't-
would
but
go
I
on
have a
record
hard
saying
time believing that.
I'm serious. Your mother was with me, am I right? We went to look at a home someone had for sale, and the guy was maybe 85 years old. He goes, I know you. You used to cut the best fish
Oh,
at
did
Dover
you?
Deli. Am I lying?
I believe
could, You could read through it. I was, for some reason, me and fish.
you and fish are.
Me
Like
and
I said,
fish.
Of course, you get complaints. Everyone, it's not thick enough. But yeah, I would do that, and I'd just do a lot of these odd jobs, because I thought if I do all these horrible jobs at night, it would leave the day open to go out and pursue my alleged career, and nothing was happening. So I would take any random job, from bodyguard to this to chasing people to
Chasing people?
yeah.
Well,
I chase people out of bookstores
If they robbed,
if they robbed.
yeah.
No, chase
So
them
through all of
things.
these oddball jobs,
odd jobs,
did you get fired from many of them?
everyone.
Okay.
Which one were you the best at, though? The fish.
I
cutting?
was fantastic at being an usher.
Why?
Actually, I can see that.
Because people go, oh, it's an usher. I go, no, you don't get it. Usher, I can go to class 8 hours a day and watch a film, how it's broken down, how it's written, how it's truly constructed and deconstructed, because I watch it every day. And I started taking notes. And I became really good at understanding editorial.
Right.
And we ended up winning an Oscar for
Was that
best
your-
editing.
But-
in,
Was that your introduction to
that was
film?
my introduction to it, yeah. So I thought, okay, let me just take this horrible job, but I know there's a plan there. It isn't like, okay, I went to 4 years of college to become an usher. No, I went to 4 years of college to eventually do something in the arts.
Right.
And I thought, here it is. This is a no-brainer.
So
Right.
at that point, when you're an usher and you're watching the film and you're breaking it down in your head, were you
Why does he get that?
wanting to be an actor, or were you wanting to be a screenwriter, editor, director?
All right, the acting was, I was starting to realize this is never going to happen. People were saying, oh, you have a speech impediment, your mouth is crooked, you slur. And I go, tell me something I don't know. I know that. They said, well, it's just not going to work. Maybe you'll be an extra. So I started to buy into that and go, because every time I was cast, it was always for a thug.
Yeah.
Can you imagine? I always thought I'd be like Hugh Grant, as like a selling
Oh,
book,
do you?
as a love
Really?
interest. Yeah. What are you saying no for over there?
Mom's saying no.
Come on, you married me. It had to be something.
She's
Something.
so shy.
She thinks you're funny.
I know she does think I'm funny. She's the greatest. Don't she'll have a heart attack. Oh yeah. My wife is the shyest person.
You know
ever
what you've
born.
always said to us though was that no matter what we do in life, always learn how to write, because regardless of anything, because that, I mean, that's what kind of, I guess.
Yeah, you don't even have to be a good writer.
Exactly.
You just have to write, and eventually your inner thoughts will come to the surface and take care of themselves. To be a gifted writer, it's freakish. Like you can be a really gifted actor and a terrible writer, terrible director. You know, have to know what your niche is. So anyway, acting, I realized I was always going to play the thug. I was always going to be the mugger. I was always beating up Woody Allen or beating up Jack Lemmon or beating up, who's the guy that played David Carradine? Actually, David Carradine beat me up. That's when I realized I said, enough is enough. I can't take it anymore. In Death Race 2000. And that's when I started to focus on the written word. And I was never good.
Wait, how did
I would
you...
like to talk about the fact that you just said that you're never good, because people tend to pursue careers or hobbies at things that they know they're good at, or at least they think that they're good at. But writing is one of those things that either you go to school and you're taught how to do it, or
Okay.
or you're just naturally gifted, and that's something that just pours out of you. But you're saying, I knew I wasn't a good writer. So what made you continue to write?
Because I
screenplay
never
after
passed the
screenplay?
English course. In other words, when you say good writer, I'll use that terminology, and you understand the inner workings and outer workings of the English language. In other words, you understand how to deconstruct and construct a sentence, how to diagram a sentence, how to know what a pronoun is.
Oops. Ah. Thanks. Oh, nice.
It's an adjective. Not me.
But you don't need to know
I
that.
understand, but you do.
They
in a
do
sense.
teach you that you need to know that.
People
yeah.
will grade you. Like you go to college, you turn in your term paper, and you've turned it in the way I turned it in. They say you're an idiot. But the
Listen.
difference is, it's the way people speak.
Then how did you teach yourself then?
I just an ear.
Did you read a lot? Was it like
I did. I
watching-
did read a lot. I didn't read when I was in college, and then I started when I was broke. I would spend hours at the New York Library just looking for subject matter, something. And then eventually I came across Edgar Allan Poe.
I knew it.
And I said, what do I have to do with this guy? Nothing. Zero. He's a stone genius. He's a poet laureate. He's an incredible writer. And I mean, he would have been the most amazing director. In other words, he didn't
Yeah.
have that
Yeah.
visual
So
outlet back then.
is he what changed everything for you?
But here's what changed me, folks, is when you start to get something that's out of your wheelhouse. For example, writing about Poe. I was no longer writing about what I did last summer or my adventure or how I got along with my mother. It was about another subject. So now I became a writer about another subject. So you
Right.
became an
My. Alright, I'll take it.
investigator, you became more of you're exploring. In other words, you became a vehicle for writing. That's not just about you.
Yeah.
Like you'll see some things like Woody Allen. He'll do 80% of his material is him
Right.
about his life. That's what he does. And he does it well. Whereas I thought, oh, I'm never going to get out of this until I start writing about something.
I don't get it.
someone else's life. And that was the beginning of Poe. And then from Poe, I did a thing called Cheerful Charlie, which is an incredible story about.
You've written over 45 screenplays.
a lot
I
of
think Mom
screenplays.
told
So
us
did
that.
you, going off of what you had just said, was writing outside of your wheelhouse, writing about people and stories that weren't about you, was that sort of an escape from your own
Yeah,
reality?
it was. You know, especially writing female parts. Like when you write Adrian, people go, "Oh, Rocky. Rocky's not a." If someone says Rocky's a sports film again, I want to spin.
Wait,
it.
why does that upset you
Yeah.
so much?
Because it's not
What
a
is it?
sports film.
Clear it up right now.
A
What is
sports
Rocky?
film is what is Rocky is a love story about a guy who's a broken down fighter. That's all it is.
Right.
It's never about money. It's never about, oh, I became champion. Oh, I want to be champion. No.
I just put something together. So you love Edgar Allan Poe, his brain, his love stories, his emotions, and then you always used to tell us you used to look up to Hercules as a physical being. Do you think that's like a combination of the two with
You have,
Rocky?
oh my God, it is. Edgar's
It is.
brain
Think about
and,
it,
and
because
Hercules' body.
Hercules didn't he go from like zero to hero, and then you have Edgar Allan Poe who's like immensely in love with this. What was it? Penelope. What was her name?
Annabelle Lee.
Annabelle Lee. Ah, ha ha ha. Maybe I.
Dude, you cannot be serious. Yeah. Hello. Come on, bro. Dude, you're so shit. Fuck's sake. I should have won. Oh my god. Okay.
You just unlocked something that you didn't even realize.
So you're saying because I like Hercules and I like Poe, you've just discovered something?
Yeah. Well, I realized that's Rocky.
No, but I think you might have hit on something.
Because you were saying that, I think that's what something even that I do, I think even Sistine does, and a lot of people do, is to sometimes see like a better version of themselves. They start to create a different character, and you
Right.
probably saw. I mean, is that how you started Rocky? Did you always love boxing before?
No.
No.
It was okay. I just saw it as a very, very easy sport to figure out.
You think that's
Yeah, it is. I mean, it's pretty simple. And then you realize how much skill goes into it, which is extraordinary. And it's also add the life and death aspect of
Yeah.
it. But boxing, I realize people are obsessed with two things in life: racing and boxing. In every aspect. Oh, you got to race to beat the clock. You got to race to get your thing on time. Race, get your tax return. Race. Get your finals done. It's always going somewhere.
Yeah.
Time is up. So, and people will bet on how fast his phone falls. I mean, anything is nothing's off limits for racing, for time. And I thought, okay, what's the other thing that everyone relates to symbolically? Fighting. As soon as a guy walks into the room, he sizes up another guy. Oh, how would I last against him? I mean, everything is competitive. And then it gets down to, you realize, shit, life is a big battle, man. There's no flat spots. It's usually you solve one problem, then you got another one. Then you got this job. Then
Why? This is some bullshit.
You got a terrible relationship. You got a good relationship, but it falls apart. One thing after another, fighting. So I thought if I could write a story that deals with a guy who's a schlumpy guy who, on the outside, looks like a real tough guy, should maybe have it together. He has nothing together,
Yeah.
and people can relate to that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because he doesn't even think of himself as tough. He's just a loser,
Well,
and he
there's-
admits he's a loser.
There's so much that people can relate to within the film, and I think that aside from it being a love story, obviously it highlights the message of not giving up,
Right.
and people really resonate with that. And I think a lot of fans of yours don't know, or maybe they do if they're a true fan, don't know how strong that message is held even before Rock